Richard, a warm welcome to you all from a rather mild Fratton Park where Pompey play under the lights and in front of a Sky Sports cameras in what must surely go down as the Blues' biggest game of the season and indeed their toughest test of the campaign so far. John Mousinho's Blues have impressed us so far this season, have created excitement that this could indeed be the year they may get back to the second tier for the first time in 12 years. They have faltered slightly of late. They have bounced back well though. A win at Bolton Albion by 2-0 was followed up with an impressive performance on the road at Northampton, culminating in a 3-0 victory, giving everyone involved with the club renewed hope that the Blues are back on track in their hunt for automatic promotion and maybe even another league title to add to the club's honours board. Kusini Yengi has been drafted in following the injury to leading marksman Colby Bishop. He retained his place tonight up top. The newly capped Australian will be desperate to get back on the score sheet tonight. He hasn't netted in the league since Lake Norient away in August, although he has only had 186 minutes of league football since that fixture. Tonight is his second start in the league and indeed his second start in a row. Big questions were asked as to whether Joe Morrell, who's back from suspension, would partner Marlon back in the centre of midfield for the first time in 12 games, giving Alex Robertson the freedom to move higher up into the attacking midfield position behind Yengi. We found out not so long ago that Marlon Pack will partner Joe Morrell in the midfield. Sadie drops to the bench in the only change, and you have to feel that that will mean that John Mousinho feels as though he will be playing his strongest hand this evening. Bolton Wanderers come here off the back of 10 wins and a draw in their last 11 competitive games, 3 points behind Pompey. The Trotters would move to top of League One with a game in hand. Should they take all 3 points tonight, Pompey will go 6 points clear if they can pull off victory this evening. They haven't lost away since the 16th of September. That was a surprise defeat to Reading at the Majeski Stadium. That is their only loss in all competitions this season on the road. They've won 8 away league games this season in total. Only Pompey can do better with that, with 9. Dion Charles is undoubtedly the man to watch out for this evening. The Northern Irish international scored in both fixtures in the league against Pompey last season and has netted 14 times in total this campaign, with 11 coming in the league. I'm Dan Shaw. You can tweet me if you like. You can get me at Dan Shaw Sports. Now, you said to me you fancy it be a little bit stale, mate, opening 10:15. I'm going to pit for the other way around. I think they're both going to have a real good go. I'm hoping for exactly that, an absolute firecracker of a start. We are just about to get underway here at Fratton Park. Pompey are shooting from left to right as we look at the top of the south stand. From the Fratton end to the Milton in blue, white and red. Bolton, who get us underway, are in white shirts, navy blue shorts, dark blue shorts and white socks, and they have the ball just in front of their 18-yard box. Kusini Yengi has picked up on the ball and is running down the left-hand side, has a man standing up, tries to get past, gets to the byline, goes down. Referee points for a goal kick, but early nervousness from Bolton as Pompey stormed in. Just a minute or so in, and Yengi causing problems. There's Sparks, who Dan Parkinson mentioned as someone who's going to have to really be on it tonight. Goes back to Norris, all in black with white boots, long, left-footed, headed away down into the centre circle. Pompey try and play it forward through Kamara, but it's cut out by a Bolton defender. Back to their keeper, and still inside their 18-yard box is the ball with the Bolton defenders. They try and play football out, but it's a little bit too much of a stretch, and Pompey will have a throw-in. Rafferty comes across to collect. Blues putting the pressure on early. Rafferty just waiting for a bit of movement. Yengi is offering up, not much else to go on, just nods down to the right hand side for Kamara to make the run. He does, stands in front of the ball, takes the touch, goes to ground. Free kick to Pompey in a really good area, about 3 or 4 yards in from the touchline, 6 or 7 yards in from the byline. Now Robertson is over it and then trots away. Sparks in left-footed towards the near post, drops down in front of the 6-yard box, cleared away half-heartedly. Morrell chasing back, lobs it over the head of Rafferty, and will find Norris midway between the halfway line and his 18-yard line, and goes right up into the night sky, bounces down. Paddy Lane gives chase, and then defender comes down, nearly treads unintentionally on Paddy Lane's head, but did just about avert it as the ball comes in, as it's already been thrown in. We've got 2 balls on the pitch just for a second. Pompey play it out and the referee allows play to continue, and the Blues have come back in towards their 18-yard box with Norris. Puts his foot on the ball, gives it to Raggett just to his right hand side, gets his head up and gives it to Rafferty on this touchline, turns out, plays long, looks like a little bit of a scuff, and it is, and it will just harmlessly drift out of play for a Bolton Wanderers throw, but a decent opening few minutes from Pompey into the centre for Bolton. Pompey putting a high press on, doing well. Bolton just camped outside their 18-yard box a little as they try and chip it down the right-hand side. Shaughnessy comes across, tries to get it under control, but gets it caught under his feet, and then a Bolton man goes flying down the right-hand side and goes to ground, and the referee gives a free kick for the challenge from Shaughnessy. Free kick for Bolton. Then they have put a whole line of white shirts along that 18-yard box. They've committed a lot of men forward. It's a good whipped ball towards the edge, bounces down and through the Pompey back line for a moment or so, and then flicked away over to the near side. Bolton still in possession with Williams. Goes back into the centre circle, this time for Cogley. Just take a second or two to regain possession and find some shape. Bolton. Pompey will be happy with that because they needed a second to regroup themselves as they go down the right hand side. Good strength shown by Marlon Pack, and he allows the ball to roll out of play as the yellow flag of the assistant goes up along the north stand. Bolton under pressure themselves for a moment. Yengi again puts pressure on the ball, goes back to the keeper, takes a touch in his luminous goalkeeper's kit, and then has to go long quickly under pressure from Yengi down the centre. Ball pinballing around inside that centre circle. Robertson calmly takes it down on his chest, turns and gives it to Kamara, who's challenged as he tried to glide away down the right hand side. Chipped up into the air again, dropped down to the head of Rafferty, nods it into the path of Kamara, gives it away, and Bolton will reset once again. Good confident defending by Randell Williams. Baxter gets the ball back on his 6-yard line, the keeper for Bolton, and he goes long, just right of centre, headed away with good by Sparks to the halfway line. Touchdown is heavy from Robertson. He just tried to give it to Marlon Pack, but the two got a little bit mixed up in the end, and it will be into possession of Bolton as they come forward down the middle, and Raggett's gone to ground. He's well out of position now as Bolton come just down the left of centre, just down the left hand side of that penalty area. Probably back well in numbers, and that's really well done by Joe Morrell to put Bolton under pressure and keep them at bay, but they come again, the Trotters, 25 yards from goal. 1-2 between Dion Charles and his counterpart, but it's gone away, and Pompey have just about niggled it away again, but Bolton will come forward once more. Challenge this time comes in from Robertson, but falls again to the feet of a white sock. Lovely ball down the channel, down that right hand side, chip towards the near post, too close to the near post though, and Will Norris is able to grasp that fairly easily. Raggett's come quite some way over the halfway line. He still goes. He plays it down the right hand side for Rafferty. Gets his head up into Kamara inside the penalty area. Looks across to Robertson. Tries to take a touch away from his man. Just a little bit too heavy. And Bolton try and come away. But Marlon Pack does really well to win it back. Robertson gets it again. Asking for the ball on the right hand side is Rafferty. Just points down the line for Kamara to make the run. Just a little bit too long, Kamara, in doing so, and so he goes inside to Morrell, back to Raggett just in front of the halfway line. Rafferty again right side, tries to clip it through for Yengi to chase. Yengi turns and puts his hand up. Yengi learning on the job. His second start for Pompey in League One as the throw-in comes in. Robertson tries to get in front of it, but he's eased off the ball well by Sheehan. Ball down the centre, Raggett gets there first, but it's landed at a Bolton foot. Now into the right hand side they come. Sparks holds his man up for a moment and does well enough as Bolton go back and play it out of play. Good defensive work from Jack Sparks. Ball is with Baxter on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's been a lively game so far. Both sides trying to move it around quickly. Bolton have struggled at times to find feet, and they've done so again there. So that ball came out, tried to play the quick ball a little bit too slick, and now play for a Pompey throw midway inside Bolton's half on the left-hand side. It's not the first time Bolton have done that this evening. And nice feet from Shaughnessy as he approaches the halfway line, gets his head up, finds Yengi, gets his backside in, holds his man off, turns. He still looks for help. Now they want the referee to blow the whistle, and finally he does. I think he gave Yengi the benefit of the doubt and that he was looking for the offload, and he waited as long as he could, gave it in the end. Good from Pompey. Ball whipped in early, and a sliding clearance on the edge of the 6-yard box. Bolton's keeper ended up in the back of his own net, and then a really big late challenge on the angle, and that might be a yellow card, and it is. Long ball, up goes Shaughnessy, so too does Sparks, or Lane in fact it was, and it's cleared away by Bolton into the stands. Bolton fans in decent voice. Bolton Wanderers get a throw in just about in line with the Pompey 18-yard box on their right hand side. And a lot of movement from the Trotters, but they are committing men forward. Ball does finally come in. Touchdown. Played out into the centre of the Bolton midfield. Pompey again going man for man as they play that ball down left-hand side. Bolton whipped into the 6-yard box, and there just was Will Norris to grab it as the Bolton man came fizzing in at the near post. Just couldn't get anything on it. Just one minuscule touch and it would have been in the back of the net. You know, the player had gone in front of the keeper, but he just couldn't quite get on the end of the ball. Morrell steps away from his man in the Pompey midfield. Play on, says the referee, as he acknowledges the foul. Robertson has it, gives it to Rafferty on the right hand side. Right on top of him is Kamara, and he nutmegs his man, gets into the area, plays it across the face, pulls it back, cleared away by Bolton, and out onto the Bolton left hand side, still inside Pompey's half. 2 blue shirts surround him, and there finally will be a yellow card for that challenge, and it came in from George Somerson. Kamara again on the right hand side for Pompey. 2 white shirts in front of him, right on the angle, again drives down that right hand side, is held off well by Trotter's defender, finds Morrell though on the edge. Out wide right is Rafferty. Kamara is still down the line if he wants him, does. Might even go for the 1-2. In fact, he goes back to Morrell, who has to turn back towards his halfway line. Raggett is the option, gives it to him, and he has to go back to Norris on the edge of the Pompey 18-yard box. So attack turned into defence a little bit there from Pompey. Ball down the right hand side for Bolton. This is where they are dangerous and they're fast, and they break away into the penalty area now. Pointed across towards the penalty spot. It's still not clear. There's a chance of Bolton. It's still not cleared away, and again the shot comes in, but it's defended really well by Raggett. Still not away, and again Pompey holds strong as the shot comes in. Yengi having a bit of a tussle with Santos. Santos is the man who comes out on top. He's a big lad, the captain Ricardo Santos, and Bolton have it again now on their right hand side, and it's got a little end to end. This is lovely little run again, gliding down the centre. What a beautiful bit of footwork from the Bolton man, and he can't get his finish away. They're claiming for a penalty and a handball, Bolton Wanderers. They won't get it, but what a bit of football that is. Absolutely incredible from Paris Magoma. Well, he's danced down that right hand side and found his way into the penalty area essentially twice in the last few minutes, and his feet were absolutely incredible. Throw in to Bolton then, right on the halfway line in front of us in the south stand. And good football from Bolton as they have to go back again. Now they've stabbed one over the top. Raggett tries to get his head on it and does well to clear, but Bolton have got the second touch. And Morrell trying to get the challenge in Pompey's midfield. Bolton trying to drag it over to their left hand side. Pompey not showing them any way down that corridor though, and have to turn back, and in doing so they've played it out. John Massinio chasing every ball off the pitch as it goes out of play. Get it back to his men quickly. Rafferty has it back to Raggett, takes a touch of his right foot, looks up and goes long down the centre. Should be dealt with. It's not the best of defensive headers though, and Paddy Lay has a chance to nod it back, and he does so to Jack Sparks, who again has to just drop his shoulder and turn back towards goal. Here's Shaughnessy for Pompey, out to Sparks and Pack looking for options. Morrell just not finding an angle for him, and so he's still just looking, do I go home or do I keep trying to find a way? Magoma is sticking with him, puts a slide challenge in the end, but he was able to get that ball long, and it's headed out of play for a Pompey throw on the halfway line. Santos was just given the ball by his keeper outside the 18-yard box. Started to drive forward about 10 yards or so, but Yengi was all over him. He didn't hide it too well. Referee finally called it back and gave Bolton Wanderers a free kick, which they take over to Owen Toll, who's left of the 3 defenders. Now down that Bolton left hand side, clipped over the top, chance for the Trotters. Keeper wasn't 100% sure, and in the end the flag went up and he did grab it. Well, as it is, Nathan Baxter in goal for Bolton has it. He just drops it down on his penalty spot. Yengi and Kamara are the closest to it, but neither too keen to close it down. And Bolton do play that short ball again. It goes back to the keeper once more, and he will opt to go long at the second attempt. And you do wonder if that's really working for them at the moment, Parky. That long ball just seems to be a ball that ends up being under pressure from the keeper, and Pompey seem to have dealt with it defensively well. Well, Pompey defend well there though as the ball came forward. Shaughnessy initially misjudged the header, but Morrell and Raggett worked in tandem to reclaim the ball in the Pompey midfield and gives it back to Norris on the edge of the area. He passes it to Raggett, who drives up towards a halfway line looking for options. Rafty's had to hold his run in order to give him that option, and it's a lovely little run by Kamara down into the channel. He's in that corner being pushed and pulled, and surely there's got to be something that gives there, and it is. And the assistant, I think, has given a corner, has he, Parky, rather than the free kick. So Sparks will redo his step up to the ball, behind the ball, his arm raised, and go again with his left foot towards the near post. There's a chance! And he goes up into the sky. It's actually come back to Sparks, unbelievably, and he's going to be given offside. Surely that ball went backwards. Fans a little bit discontent about where the keeper went to take his free kick from. They felt that he gains a bit of an unfair advantage. He brought it a little bit closer to the centre of his goal. They felt it was a lot more closer to that touchline. Marlon Pack has a ball for Pompey, turns, sprays wide for Kamara, but it's intercepted before it gets to him. It goes through the centre for Raggett. Nice ball on the ground for Kamara. Robertson inside has his head up. He did have an option in Paddy Lane, but he couldn't quite pick him out. Instead, he travels with the ball into Sparks. Pack has to just run back a little bit on that ball. Gives it to Raggett. Raggett through for Kamara. Kamara's touch inside of Robertson. Really good ball back to Kamara, who drives down the middle. Ball through for Yengi. Onside Yengi. Turns on with a touch onto his left foot across the face. He drills it across the face. And it's cleared away. Didn't need to hit it that hard to his man. It was 2 yards across, and surely should have just taken a shot on anyway. But he did everything. It was beautiful feet from Yengi. And you felt he had to pull the trigger. And he just didn't do it, and then that ball across the face, as I say, he fired it. Oh, it was lovely football. It got the crowd up, that's for sure. As it is, it's with Norris a yard or two inside his 18-yard box now in the Pompey goal in front of the Fratton end. Raggett again. He's seen plenty of the ball and not been too bad with it so far. He goes back to his keeper. Yeah, he's taken the ball on and driven a little bit, hasn't he? And he's found some decent passes. Here he is again. And there's another good ball to Yengi. Back to Marlon Pack, who has a few yards of space in front of him. Goes across and left for Sparks, who comes forward on his left foot. Just tried to lay it down the channel. And Lane drifted wide. Yengi stayed inside and he split the difference. And it goes through to the keeper. Oh, well, that is a free kick against Sean Raggett. I think he can feel very hard done by there. And Bolton have done well. And they spread the ball out to their right-hand side now, and they have got men in the box, and still they drift. Beautiful ball inside the 6-yard box. Keeper did really well to save, and then an absolute sitter for Bolton. He had to score. He puts it wide. What a miss that is. Pompey 0, Bolton 0. Nagoma, the architect again, who has been scintillating at times. And the ball is loose in the middle. Bolton win it, and then a little slip, but still the man in white is able to get there. Into the middle it goes again. Yengi trekking back but can't get on the end of it. Marlon Pack and Robertson trying to get back behind the ball now, as Bolton have it just inside Pompey's half. All but Yengi are behind the ball in blue. Well, he doesn't miss many. He scored just as many as Colby Bishop in the league, and even more than him in total this season. Not going to give him too many more chances though, Pompey. As it is 0-0 here at Fratton Park. If things stay the same, and there's a long way to go, Pompey will remain top of League One. Yep, they've entertained us, and Pompey might entertain us further here. Robertson was looking for, I think, Yengi really to leave it, but he put his foot on it and just stopped him in his tracks. Here's Kamara on the right-hand side of the 18-yard box, gets into the area, across the face, chance for the Blues, cleared away towards the edge of the area, and then a whistle goes. Bolton man on the floor, free kick. Pompey 0, Bolton 0 at the top of League One. The biggest game of the season for the Blues. And so far, somehow, it is goalless. Bolton were just about to do a short ball across their 6-yard box and have been told to do otherwise by the manager, and have gone long, this time to their right-hand side, and that will be eased out of the way by Sparks and allows Pompey to have a throw-in. And your concern was Jack Sparks and his defensive duties tonight. He's not had it all his own way. Morale for the Blues, having to go back home to Norris from Pompey's left-hand side. Takes a left-footed touch to the keeper and whacks it down the middle. Paddy Lane thought for a second about chasing it, but there wasn't much point. It fizzed through for Nathan Baxter. And he will just take a moment to allow the presence of Cassini Yengi to pick that ball up and go long. Raggett under this one again with Bobertson. And he gets a sidestep on it. Morel heads it towards a halfway line. Rafferty uses experience to get in front of his man and knock it down the line for Yengi. Was he too keen? No, says the assistant. He's to the deadline, but he's fallen over. He gets back to his feet, plays it across the face. Here's Kamara though on the angle for Pompey. Tries to wriggle it onto his right foot. Now Morel to the right hand side of the area. Across to the penalty spot. Cleared away. Drops down and Morel again will have it right hand side. It's not over. There's 3 or 4 blue shirts in that Pompey penalty area. Morel plays it into Kamara, turns, has 3 men around him, slips it in for Robertson for Pompey, and the keeper goes down to his right hand side. It was just sneaking into the back post, and the keeper saves Pompey 0, Bolton 0. Pompey wanted a free kick for a foul on Paddy Lane, but he was offside as the ball went forward. It's been an entertaining 5 or 10 minutes, Parky. Oh, there's still 10 minutes plus of this first half, incredibly. As Bolton go along down their right hand side. Sparks tries to hold his man up, but he's beaten this time and puts a little tug of the shirt in, and the referee's going to want a word of him here. Well, we're still waiting for the free kick. 2 men over it. Again, so much height in this Bolton side, lining up a couple of yards inside the Pompey 18-yard box. It's an in-swinger. It's headed away by Sparks down to the edge of the area. A crucial touch from Kamara. Still not away fully. And it's Paris Magoma who's been dancing past players at times. He was on it, but it was cleared away, and it will end up back inside the Bolton Wanderers penalty area. It's Nathan Baxter again, who's just taking his time. I just feel as though that might be a little bit of a compliment to Pompey. They're quite happy at the moment just to buy a few extra seconds. He's chasing the keeper Baxter out of his 18-yard box at the moment. And Bolton do well to get it under and turn and find Magoma, who brings it under. He's been fantastic, Magoma. He wants it back on the left-hand side, just inside the Bolton half, and he does get it as he drifts more towards the centre and then pings one from the middle right onto the foot of his man on the right-hand side. Beautiful ball again from him. Bolton Wanderers 25 yards or so from goal. Heavy touch, and a challenge came in from Paddy Lane. Ooh, next to me from Parky. Thought that was going to be late, and I thought that was the case. And it goes through the centre. Raggett again is there. Morel trying to get there at the second nibble, but Bobertson does come away. Magoma once more, who's just operating on the left-hand side a little bit more at the moment. Bolton feed it into the middle, looking for the 1-2. Raggett gets there well ahead of Bobertson and goes back to the keeper. And Norris should have plenty of time to pick a man out. And he does, he chips it up for Paddy Lane, but it's over the top of him. Yengi might get there as it bounces in front of him in the centre circle. Santos does well to rise above him though, possibly on his back, according to a few Pompey fans, but nothing given. And Morel has it, out wide right to Rafferty. Takes a bit of a heavy touch, has to go back to Raggett. Bobertson is on top of him. Rafferty comes short for Raggett, plays a nice ball inside for Kamara. Kamara's ball is behind Sean Raggett. Now Pompey have a man less at the back as Bolton come forward. Down the right hand side this time. Sparks is going to have to stand his man up well on a yellow card. Marlon back trying to help him out as they play it down the line and then fired over the top. Poor attacking play really in the end from Bolton, and it goes harmlessly out of play for a Blues goal kick. Pompey playing the short football out of the back. They tried to chip it down the line for Kamara, but Bolton have headed it back with a lot of interest, and it is the Trotters who have it now on the angle down the left hand side. Good football through the narrow gaps that Pompey have allowed. Marlon Pack gets a foot in, but it goes back to another white sock, this time for Gethin Jones. Now onto the right hand side for Bolton. Just trying to find a way through that Pompey defence at the minute. It's a good turn though, 30 yards out, and a beautiful ball through. Magoma was making a run, too heavy though, and out comes Norris, who runs, surges to the edge of his area, goes long. Santos gets a header on it though, and then Owen Tull should deal with it as he does go back to Baxter on the 6-yard line. Long ball from that standing start. Sparks wins the header. Paddy Lane tries to get it under control on the chest on that halfway line, loops it up into the sky. Santos will go across for it. Yengi wasn't interested. Robertson chased it, and Santos rather lazily miskicks it out for a Pompey throw on the halfway line in front of the Northstad. Throwing down the line, header away by a Bolton shirt, but back out of play for Pompey, who have won their last 4 at Fratton against Bolton Wanderers. It's a beautiful ball over to Kamara. Good touchdown from him. Man on loan from Norwich. Rafferty plays it into the centre. Yengi runs across it to make sure that it goes to the foot of Paddy Lane. And now here's Robertson of Pompey, who has Sparks to his left-hand side. Lane stays in the centre. Sparks does have it, has to front his man up and can't get past him. And Bolton have done well when they're playing football down in their right-hand corner to go long. Raggett has Boberton on his shoulder. Chest sit down, goes back to his keeper well, who takes a touch and will have to deal with it quickly and coolly, and does. Gives it to Shaughnessy, turns. Marlon Pack in front of him, but he drifts past him. Over to the left-hand side for Sparks. Down the line for Paddy Lane, who takes a touch in front of the halfway line. Bolton foot goes in, Pompey throw. Yengi was being held by Santos. Referee says nothing doing. And the keeper goes long. Shaughnessy heads it backwards and almost gives Bolton an attacking run. Sparks comes across and does really well and clears away well, and Yengi goes down on his chest in an offside position though. Did well to get in front of Santos and get it under control, didn't he? And then saw the checkered flag go up. Santos' free kick, and it should be should go over the keeper. The Fratton faithful were a little bit nervous. Looks as though Raggett was going for it unmarked for a moment in front of his goal, but he did leave it for his keeper. Shaughnessy back to Norris on the 6-yard line, left-footed touch and a clearance to the right-hand side for Kamara. He's going to have to work for that, and really does well. Through for Yengi, tries to get past his man. Yengi wriggles really well. The Australian through the legs of the keeper and cleared off the line. What a chance! Yengi thought he'd done enough, but it was cleared away, and they just couldn't get the finishing touch, Pompey, to make it 1-0. Sparks on the angle, good cross across that 6-yard box and headed away by Bolton. Pompey are going to have to reset again though, as they go back into their own half with Rafferty. To the right hand side is Joe Morrell in front of John Massinio. Chips it down the line for Kamara. Couldn't quite get the turn on it. Just trying to be a little bit clever so he can continue his run down that right hand side. Raggett gets the header on it from the throw-in, but Boberton has it now. Plays it down the left-hand side. Bolton with only one man against 5 at the moment. The Blues with plenty of shirts back, so Bolton will have to wait for reinforcement. Goes back into the centre of the Bolton half. And again, only Yengi in front of the ball. Bolton still in possession, though, on their right-hand side as they try and guide themselves towards the Pompey box. Morrell of a slide challenge. Sees the ball squirm away, and then a challenge by Rafferty, no foul given, and he comes forward for Pompey, through that channel once more for Yengi. Kamara trying to get on the overlap, still Yengi bombs, Santos goes to ground, and it comes off of the defender on that slide challenge and out for a Pompey corner. Sparks left footed, puts his right arm into the air, crosses towards the near post, headed on, and into the back of the net. Pompey lead in this crucial League One tie, and who else but Connor Shaughnessy at the near post, who glides to the back corner, and right on the stroke of half time, it's Portsmouth 1, Bolton 0. Well, they had it earlier on, Bolton, a warning from that cross, and once again they did not track the run at the near post, and Pompey have made them pay right on the stroke of half time. It's been a thrilling game of football, it really has. Both sides have given everything and given us a really good game of football. The Pompey fans giving a bit to the team from the northwest who have travelled down tonight. And as it stands, the Blues are 6 points clear, top of League One. Well, Bolton have it inside their penalty area with the keeper, lofts it long, up goes Rafferty, heads it into the back of a Bolton man, and then clips it forward in search of Yengi, who this time does turn to Rafferty and get an apology, as the Blues fans make it very, very clear to Bolton that they are indeed top of the league. Shaughnessy in a battle defensively in the air this time. Marlon Pack trying to get it out of his feet and clear, and Rafferty somehow sidesteps it out of play. Well, we've had a fantastic game of League One football here at Fratton Park. We knew the stakes before a ball was kicked on this Monday night. Pompey, if they win, 6 points clear. Bolton, if they win, top of League One with a game in hand. We've had Bolton miss us absolute sitter. We've had Pompey with their chances, clearances off the line, and right before half time we've had a Sparks corner met by Shaughnessy at the near post, guided into the top left corner, and at half time is Pompey 1, Bolton 0.